G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm David, and today just going to do a bit of pruning on this Aussie tea tree. It's getting a bit overgrown, needs a bit of a cutback. Wasn't going to do any videos for a while because I've had to go and have a whole heap of teeth removed. I'm waiting for my falsies to be made up, and quite frankly it's a pain in the ass to talk with a big gap in your teeth. So probably won't be a lot of talking in my videos for a bit, but see how we go. But anyway, today really just need to prune this one back. As you can see, lots of big long growth on it everywhere. And if you remember back, I've always felt this branch is too long for the proportion of the tree. I broke the branch it's probably be 6 months or more ago now, in the hope that it would shoot a branch back here somewhere, because I'm really not game enough to just cut the whole thing off and regrow the branch from here. It hasn't shot anything out, so I'm sort of stuck. But there's a lot of growth coming back this way, and this back branch isn't too far out, so I reckon today I can bring the mass of foliage back in a little bit and try and get into proportion a little bit, and we'll try and grow a bit more foliage in close. So that's probably going to be the first job. I'll do that. Yeah, and then we'll just cut back a lot of this long stuff, try and get the foliage pads back, maybe do a little bit of wiring. Yeah, not a real lot more to say apart from that. So you'll probably be listening to some tunes for a bit. Yeah, but I'll get that job done and see if we can bring that back in a bit, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I think that already brings everything back in close enough. I might gin this. That's the only reason I've left that. Probably not that long, probably just cut it back here somewhere, but I'll have a look. And we might just wire some of these, try and get a bit of branch structure that sort of makes a reasonable looking pad, but brings the foliage back this way a bit. I don't know, that's my thoughts at the moment, but yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Well, the man didn't hear me, not a single word I said. You see, he couldn't see me, be me as I lay awake in my bed. This may sound amusing or confusing, these things I've said. Don't dismiss me as I wanna be, 'cause I don't wanna be what you said. And don't get the hint, I got kicked around handprints. Damn sure.
I don't know if you can really see on these branches, but they tend to just grow really, really long and straight. So all I'm doing is taking most of them back. Like even this one here, it'll just continue to get longer and longer and longer. So just take it back to a point fairly short where I would like it to shoot some buds out, and where those leaves are, it should just shoot a couple of little shoots out of there, and hopefully give us some branch divisions instead of just having to put up with this big long stuff. You know, you might see there's a couple of branch divisions here, so you might sort of cut it back like that and go, oh yeah, we've got a couple of divisions there, but then you've still got a long straight bit here that's probably going to end up, you know, probably too long. I'd rather it sort of branch, say, back there, just leave a tiny little bit and it'll shoot out of there, no problem. And if we do that to all of them, we'll get quite thick growth in there, especially the way this thing is currently growing. Being sort of mid-spring for us, it's our growing season. And it'll only take a couple of weeks and this thing will look like a shaggy dog again. And I'll probably revisit it again in a couple of months and probably try and thin out some of the interior branches maybe, because I feel like eventually it will sort of get too thick in some places if we keep all the branches. You can see in some of these spots back here, like there's just so many branches in there. We can't just keep shortening them and leaving them there. We've sort of got to make some selections and get rid of some at some point. But that's something for later on. I might just start on that top pad now. It's pretty overgrown, as is pretty typical for these guys. They love to push some growth out of the apex.
I got kicked around handprints. He had suggestions and directions. I tried to hear what he said, but I was feeling like I was reeling. Yeah, on the ropes in round 10. And it hurt quite a bit. I got kicked around and cramped. I'm damn sure I took a hit. Yeah, I got kicked around and cramped.
Just trying to lower the foliage a little bit on this pad. It blends in with this one a bit too much. I guess we could let this one grow a little bit higher. Or we could take this one a little bit lower. I could wire it down, which is what I may have to do. But I sort of don't, as you lower it, you sort of push the foliage out a little bit as well, which I don't really want to do. I don't want to widen it out anymore. It sort of probably needs to go back in a little bit anyway. What do we do? Might just thin out a couple of these more upward growing ones and we'll see what that looks like.
It was a shock to my head. I couldn't believe what he said, but I ain't leaving. You best believe me. You better like this one instead. And if you don't, well, tough shit. You just
I reckon that's probably nearly enough. That's quite a bit of foliage off that one tree. Plus probably another half a handful that's all on the ground. But you won't know this tree in a couple of weeks. It has just flowered too. I'll put some pictures up of the flowers. It's got really nice purple flowers. And it had quite a few. I'd like to see it flower a bit more profusely this year or next year. So hopefully we can thicken up this growth a bit. I think the proportions are probably a little bit better now. Could probably even knock that one off the end, and then we'll work on ramifying that a bit more. Bit of deadwood there. I don't know. It doesn't look too bad. Probably needs a couple other bits maybe to make it look alright. I don't know. That's it. Little Aussie tea tree. Let me know what you reckon. I think it's starting to come along. I'm starting to like this tree. It's starting to actually look like a tree. I do wish it was a bit thicker in the base, but you know, kind of everything. And yeah, I think it looks alright. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.
Kicked around.